Welcome back to Midnight Movie Club and my review of Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. So I finally got to see Army of the Dead on Netflix tonight as it launched globally for everyone on the streaming platform. And yeah, it's a big momentous moment as it's been such a big movie for the channel here. I've had a lot of interest on it. I've probably gained a lot of subscribers because of it, and I'm super thankful for that. So if you've subscribed because of Army of the Dead content, thank you very much for all of your views, your likes, your dislikes, your comments, whatever you've done. I really do appreciate it. It's been a really cool movie to talk about. I've really enjoyed breaking down every single trailer and image and little tease that we've got in every article. It's been a great ride, but the movie's finally here and it's time to finally review it. And I have to say, I was extremely let down. Now, before you click off the video, dislike it or whatever, or leave me hate or unsubscribe, let me explain myself, hear me out, hear my opinion, and if you disagree with it, then chat to me down below in the comments. That's what Midnight Movie Club's all about. Just a bunch of people getting together, talking about horror movies and movies we're passionate about and having a bit of discourse now and then. And yeah, let's keep it clean, let's keep it friendly. I'm going to go over everything that I loved and everything that I hated. But overall, I am extremely let down, so let's get into it. Army of the Dead is Zack Snyder's return to the zombie subgenre. He directed it, he was the DOP on this film, and he also co-wrote it alongside Shay Hatton and Joby Harold. Army of the Dead takes place following a zombie outbreak that has left Las Vegas in ruins and walled off from the rest of the world by shipping containers. Scott Ward, a normal everyday civilian who is part of this group Las Vengeance, is then enlisted by Bly, the owner of Bly Casinos, to assemble a team, go into the quarantine zone and rob a vault for $200 million. He is said to keep $50 million himself and can then divvy it up between the team however he feels. It's meant to be a simple in and out, but as we all know, it's never gonna be. The film stars Dave Bautista as Scott Ward, Ella Purnell as Kate Ward, Omari Hardwick as Vanderhoof, Ana de la Reguera as Maria Cruz, Theo Rossi as Burt Cummins, Matthias Schweighofer as Dieter, Nora Arenzender as Lily, also known as the Coyote, and Hiroyuki Sanada as Bly Tanaka. There's also Garrett Dillahunt as Martin, Tig Notaro as Marianne Peters, Raul Castillo as Mikey Guzman, and Huma Qureshi as Gita. We've also got Samantha Wynn as Chambers and Richard Citrone as Zeus, the king of the alpha zombies. Also big shout out to Athena Parampo, who plays the queen zombie in this film. Wow, her body movements and everything in here, all while being in heels. I'm pretty sure she was wearing heels, was just insane. She was terrifying. I loved her movements and all that. And the voiceover work for these zombies, all the audio and sound design for them is just fantastic. Obviously there's a big ensemble cast in here, so right off the bat we're going to start with the team. Honestly, I loved everyone on the team. Everyone was likeable, and even the ones that you're not meant to like, you enjoy hating. I thought Theo Rossi was very good in his role, and Dillahunt was also very good in his role. They're the two more like human antagonists of the film, and I really enjoyed their parts. I thought Bautista put in a great performance once again. I really do rate him as an actor, and I think he's got fantastic range. You see his comedy and all his laughs and stuff like that, and his physical prowess in Guardians and things like that. But here we see a much more, gentle giant side to him, a softer, deeper side, and he really nailed it with all the emotional beats in this film. Him playing across from Ella Purnell, his daughter Kate, in this film, he played very well off of each other, and I enjoyed their interactions. I do have to say though that Kate was probably my least favourite character. I don't think she realised in trying to not be selfish, she was being super selfish and actually screwing and killing a lot more people than she had to for her own agenda. I just really did not like her character at all, and I didn't really like her character's subplot. I felt like if the film focused more on the heist rather than, taking us away from that into the subplot, it would have been a lot better. And I feel like the movie did struggle a little bit in merging these two genres. Honestly, zombies with heist movie, I'm all there, I'm for it. but it felt like it just didn't mesh that well here, and it kind of got caught in two minds in what it wanted to be. That was similar with the tone as well. It didn't really know whether it was going to be super serious, or, slightly serious, or totally over the top wacky. And honestly, I think they should have went with wacky, because the wacky moments were by far the most entertaining moments of this whole film. And I really liked the dynamic between Vanderho and Dieter, Matthias Schweighöfer's character and Omari Hardwick's character. Their bromance was awesome, and I really liked that. And I really liked Chambers and Guzman. That was Raul Castillo playing across from Samantha Wynn. I like their kind of chemistry, even though we don't see much of it at all. And I feel like a lot more could have been done with their characters. But I did like them for what we saw of them in the movie, especially Chambers. She was super badass. And obviously with that red bandana, callback to Vasquez, love that. There is a few Aliens callbacks in here, which will make, Aliens fans like myself smile. But it's not enough to save the movie, in my opinion. But overall, I did really like the team. I just felt that there was a lot of wasted potential in there, and a lot of the characterization that is built up in that long first act is quickly shat on, halfway through the second act. And it was just a shame that it seemed like they kind of shoehorned certain emotional beats in there right at the last minute, just before a big, twisting, subverting thing happens, just to, give you that shock value. But it just feels like they're cheating you in a way, because they've done it and set it up 2 seconds before it happens. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to go into spoilers, but there's certain things in here that I do believe will piss you off. Certain things did piss me off. I don't mind, subverting expectations. I'm all for it. But when you say one thing out of the blue and it just comes totally out of left field, and then 2 seconds later something happens because of that, you just roll your eyes a little bit, and it's like, oh, that's why you done that, for nothing else really. And yeah, you just feel a little bit cheated. But on the whole, like the team, characterization was good but wasted in the end. But everyone is likeable, and the ones you're not meant to like, you don't like, but in a way that you do like, if you get what I mean. But let's talk about the zombies. I really like this take on the zombie mythology. I'm into the whole smart zombie thing, and I'm into them here having a proper hierarchy and far more to them. There is a lot going on with these zombies in this film, but not all of it is explained, sadly. As we do know, we are getting an animated prequel series that is going to explore the origins of these zombies, and I do have to say, I feel like in the efforts trying to build, a grander universe, it took away from this movie. Instead of just focusing on this movie, making it a good damn fucking movie, they tried to set too many things up, and that took away from the movie in the end, which is sad. But I'm still looking forward to seeing this animated prequel series and getting some answers to some very, very cool things that we saw throughout the film. As I said, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but there's a lot of things going on here with these zombies that is very, very interesting, to say the least. And the actor that plays Zeus, he puts in a great performance. We actually see emotion from these zombies, and he brings it in those little small segments that he has. He also played Big Daddy Mars in Ghosts of Mars. Just a cool little bit of trivia for anyone else who loves that movie out there. Costume design, as far as it goes for the most parts, is on point. It's great. I love the little touch of Last Vengeance on some of the crew's uniforms from back in the zombie wars, as they called it on the TV. I love it when zombie movies acknowledge that it's a zombie movie and the characters within that universe just call them zombies. It's like, yes, let's try not be pretentious about this. Let's just dive in. It's zombies. Everyone knows it's zombies. Call it zombies. So thumbs up to Zack Snyder for that. He doesn't pussyfoot about anything like that. He just goes for it, and I love that about him. I do have to say though, I thought in places Zeus actually looked a little bit goofy. He looked a bit like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I get why he had the helmet. He has it for a very, very smart reason, and he seems like, even though there are other alphas, he's always going to be smarter than them. He seems to have that even extra level of intelligence, which was nice to see, and that's why he rules over them with an iron fist. But yeah, just in certain places he looked a bit goofy. I don't like the cape and all that kind of stuff. I definitely liked him when he first breaks out, when we see him at the start of the movie. and in the middle of the movie. In the end, he wears this thing quite a bit, and I just thought it looked a little bit goofy in places. There is actually some nice social commentary in here as well, in the first act of the film especially, that was super relevant to what is happening in today's world, and it's stuff that I could actually see happening if an outbreak were to happen in our current world. So it was nice to see, and it kind of set nice little bits of themes here or there throughout the film. This isn't the main point of this film. This film's main point is to have fun, to see zombie blood and guts, and yeah, you see that in bucket loads, which is probably my favourite part of the whole film. The gore was amazing. There is a lot of CGI blood, but it's damn good looking CGI blood, and I'll tell you what, that tiger, I thought the tiger looked a little bit iffy in some of the trailers. In the final cut of this film, the one we see on Netflix, that Valentine tiger looks damn good. Whoever done the CGI on that, I love it. Love the little bits of vertebrae sticking out the back and stuff like that on the hind legs. Absolutely fantastic. And when that tiger is in action, it is brutal. It is awesome. It is bloody awesome. I love Valentine. He was also cute while being absolutely terrifying. And when he goes to town, he goes to town, trust me. There was also some practical effects used in here, obviously for like the zombie skin and all that, and all the up close nice bites that we see. This is one thing I really liked about this movie. When the zombies bite people, you're up close with it and you see it, and you actually see them ripping and tearing, and I really liked that. Really liked the blood, really liked the practical effects, and the CGI that is in here looks damn good. And we have to talk about cinematography. This is a Zack Snyder movie. He didn't just direct it, he was actually the director of photography on it as well. And it shows. The film looks beautiful, man. The cinematography is very, very well done. And I have to say, I really liked the dream lens. I think there was maybe a couple of like establishing shots where the camera would pan and my eyes felt a little bit fuzzy looking at it, as certain things were in focus and other things weren't. But that was like the only time that I noticed it. For the rest of the movie, I actually quite liked the racking of the focus. And like when we see in the trailers and stuff, when the zombie queen is out of focus, then they rack her into focus and something like that. I like those little bits of focus changing, especially when you've got a big group of characters all talking at once. It really does put the focus on the person who's talking and then switch to the next person, so you feel that everyone's getting a word in edgeways and everyone's getting a little bit of time to shine. And I really liked the dream lens. I thought this movie looked beautiful, and Zack Snyder should definitely be DOP in every movie that he makes from here on out. I would have no complaints that. The man knows how to make action look very, very good. And the casino scene, the action sequence in that was fantastic. But I do have to say, the action in this film is quite sparse. There's actually not that much of it. Don't get me wrong, when it kicks off and it kicks off well. But it takes a bit of time to get to the action, and that's where probably my biggest gripe of the film comes. The pacing is absolutely all over the place. There's times where it's just 100 miles an hour, and then other times where it just chugs along so slow, and it just focuses on things that just don't need to be focused on. Some of the editing as well, we'd cut to someone getting helped up or something like that. That's something we could see, in the background of a wide shot. We don't need a mid shot to see that happening. There was just certain things in here that could have been tightened up to make the movie a little bit more leaner and meaner. There was also too many inconsistencies and some very dumb character decisions. There was this one point, I'm not going to say anything in particular because I really don't want to spoil it, but basically something was happening in slow-mo, and it's obviously meant to be happening quicker than it is, but everyone literally had like a full-on conversation while something else was happening, with a lot of shambler zombies involved and someone else involved, and they could have just opened fire, rectified the situation, and it felt like, it was drama for the sake of drama, and it just didn't feel right. I felt like the characters could have so easily done something, but they all just stood and watched and done nothing, and I was just like, this is so silly. Like, you guys are better than this. You know how to kill zombies, just do it and everything will be fine. but it's like they wanted this thing to happen, and I can't go into it. But yeah, some of the character decisions are just a little bit dumb and inconsistent in places. And yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. And also, this isn't a spoiler, Batista flips over a poker table, right? I've never tried to lift a poker table in my life, but I'm going to imagine they're quite heavy, and he throws this thing like pretty damn far. And then a little while afterwards, he has trouble picking up a mattress. I don't know, but last time I checked, a single bed mattress probably wasn't as heavy as a big oak poker table from a casino, you know, like full size. It's just little things like that. I know that might sound nitpicky, but when you're trying to focus on a scene, but in your brain it's still questioning stupid things from the scene prior, that's when it starts to take you out of the movie and kind of ruin your enjoyment a little bit. And it was things like that that really, really just, you know, were in the back of my head annoying me while I was trying to enjoy the film. There is also a time limit on this movie that you just never really feel, and the time actually gets shortened at one point and it ramps up the tension a little bit more, at least it's meant to, but you just really never feel it because it's like, we've got this much time left, we've got to do this by this time, and then, you know, you're watching it, it's way past that time, and you just start rolling your eyes and going, this is just getting ridiculous now, like, how can you say that and then go and do all of this? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't seem plausible, and I really, really don't like it when movies do that. They should have just scrapped the whole time limit part of it, because it's never really felt and never really comes into effect at all. So before I go on for too long, I'll try to sum all of this up. Basically, Army of the Dead looks really, really good. It's a really good looking film. It's got a great cast. They all put in decent performances. I like, you know, their dialogue with one another, and I actually thought Tig Notaro's character Peters was actually pretty funny. She gave me the biggest laughs of the film. Dieter and obviously Vanderhoor standouts as well. Some of the characters though are underutilised, and a lot of the potential is squandered. The zombies I think will be pretty divisive with people. People will want the classic zombies, people won't mind this new iteration. It's going to be either or. Personally, I really like them, and they were always fun when they were on screen. The gore and the effects and just how the film looks is awesome, but you know, the narrative just does get bogged down in some of the shittiest parts of it. It needed a trim, it needed another draft of the script probably, and you know, it just needed someone else to go over it in the cutting room. Yeah, it drags on probably a little bit like this review, but yeah, overall you will have a little bit of fun with this movie, but I think it's going to piss you off and annoy you a little as well. If you're a huge Snyder fan though, I think you're going to love it either way, and I really hope you don't crucify me in the comments. Anyway, with all that said and done, I'm going to give Army of the Dead a 3 out of 5 rating. It was really close to being a 2.5, but it gets the 3 out of 5 because of all the blood and gore and the tiger. I'm just a sucker for that kind of stuff, and yeah. Sadly, I wanted this one to be so much better. I was really, really looking forward to it. But, you know, I wasn't on that same level as other people have been with it. And hey, you can disagree with me all you like, that's fine. Have a chat about it in the comments, I don't mind. I really like having discussions, even when they are from opposing sides of the spectrum. Another thing I really liked about the movie was the score. Once again, Junkie XL comes through and absolutely kills it. It hits hard in the action moments, and it really heightens those tense moments, especially that moment with the glow sticks. Probably one of the best parts of the whole film. Anyway, let me know all of your thoughts and feelings about Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead in the comment section down below. I'm keen to have a chat with you all, and there's definitely certain things that will be very interesting to discuss. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave it a like, and if you're new here to the channel, why not subscribe to join the club? As always, thank you very much for watching, and good night.